Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning in to Trailkeepers of Oregon's presentation on closing the Neahkahnie Gap. My name is Josh Durham. I'm a crew leader and staff member for Trailkeepers of Oregon. Before we get started, I'd like to take a moment to thank the Oregon Coast Visitors Association for their generous funding on all the work that TKO does on the Oregon coast, specifically on the Oregon Coast Trail. A bit of background for people who aren't aware, the Oregon Coast Trail is a trail that was envisioned in 1959, approved in 1971, and declared hikeable in 1988. It runs approximately 382 miles from the Columbia River to the border of California. Approximately 200 miles of it is beach walking, and 180 miles is combined trail and road walking. The Oregon Parks and Recreation Department is the chief land manager for the Oregon Coast Trail. And unfortunately, the Oregon Coast Trail does have gaps, approximately 45 miles of highway walking. OPRD has been directed by Oregon State Legislature to close the gaps, working in conjunction with community-led gap committees. One such gap is the south side of Neahkahnie Mountain. Approximately 1.5 miles of road and highway shoulder walking. About 5 years ago, Connie Soper, author of Exploring the Oregon Coast Trail and head of a gap committee, began the process of closing the Neahkahnie Gap. Many organizations and land managers were involved at various stages, including the Northwest Youth Corps, Oregon State Parks, the Lower Nehalem Community Trust, the City of Manzanita, and private landowners. All these folks and organizations came together to make this trail happen. Connie Soper spearheaded the project, initiated contact with OPRD and City of Manzanita. The City of Manzanita applied for an RTP, or Recreational Trails Program grant, which requires that an organization step up to commit to a 25-year maintenance plan. In the spring of 2017, TKO agreed to commit to maintenance. We also requested to be involved in the development of the trail and help the Lower Nehalem Community Trust and state parks oversee youth crews installing the trail. Northwest Youth Corps broke ground on the trail in mid-June of 2019, and shortly thereafter, TKO started to run volunteer crews in addition to those NYC crews in order to garner local community support. The new trail is approximately 2.25 miles long. It eliminates 1.25 miles of Highway 101 shoulder walking. It goes through a forest, a reforestation project, and a power line utility corridor. The trail has views of the Nehalem River and of the ocean. It also crosses over land managed by 4 different groups: Oregon Parks and Recreation, Lower Nehalem Community Trust, the City of Manzanita, and a private landowner. Northwest Youth Corps and Trailkeepers of Oregon had a number of challenges to overcome, building trail through forest, a reforestation project, and a utility corridor. Before we could start building on OPRD managed land, state parks had to conduct a cultural and natural resource survey. In the process of this survey, our trail alignment was altered slightly to avoid crossing several patches of a rare flower. This process can take some time, as OPRD resources are often spread thin. After surveys were completed, we first had to clear the brush through the forest area in order to cut trail. You can see from this photo the sort of dense coastal vegetation that we had to clear in order to lay down our trail. We also had to deal with the shallow root systems of the very common Sitka spruce. We wanted to be careful not to damage these roots, so we armored and built the trail tread over the roots to ensure that they're safe and that they're not impeding water flow over our trail. Once we made it into the reforestation project area, we had to deal with water runoff that necessitated the construction of many armored drains in order to redirect water flow and keep from eroding our trail. We also had to deal with removal of woody debris, which required a few different tactics. We also had to remove stumps. And stumps. And stumps. And stumps. Successful removal of a stump is frequently cause for celebration. When we got to the utilities corridor, we were challenged to maintain a comfortable grade for hikers while staying within the confines of the utility corridor as requested by the land manager. We also ran into a lot of woody debris that needed to be removed from the trail, which created large holes to fill.
One more. Wait. You think that's a Brontosaurus shoulder blade?
This is a great example of TKO's commitment to having fun while getting the work done. And you guessed it, more stumps. We're almost ready to officially close the gap. We've got a soft opening target of August, but we still need your help. We've got to finish tread and lay gravel. We need to install a turnpike to traverse a wet area. We also need to install signage for guidance and fencing to deter people from going on to private property. TKO has begun to hold trail party events to help close this gap. If it falls within the travel restrictions in your county, we encourage you to come out and volunteer with us. We've created COVID-specific safety policies to help mitigate risk. While we will have a soft open in August, work will continue, and an official opening date will come in September or October. Check our calendar at trailkeepersoforegon.org/events. And if you have any questions, please feel free to email me at josh.durham@trailkeepersoforegon.org. Stay tuned to our Facebook page for more Oregon Coast Trail related content and more training and volunteer opportunities. Thank you very much for your time and have a wonderful day.